What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? Hey, what's going on? I'm sure everybody can actually hear me, right? Good shit. Good shit. Um, no, that's not what I need to do. Let me make sure that I change some things here. Let's do this. All right. So, how's everybody doing today? I am here doing some, as you can probably see, working on some motherfucking art. And oh yeah, that's I guess so. That's what I'm doing. I okay, so I did change some things up. If you guys can actually see it, I did change some things up. So yeah, no, let's actually get into this art. Um, what's up, Archer? Um, I decided like I wanted to work on some art and actually take a look at some videos. The first thing that I do want to actually say is, um, for one, what's I have to tell you guys, I have not been feeling well lately. I kind of been dealing with bronchial issues, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't streamed. Now I do have some videos that I know I need to put the fuck out, and that's that's something that, yeah, guys, I'm sorry about that. I haven't put it out, but it's just me basically after work just coming home and being motherfucking tired. So if you can forgive me of that, I do apologize for that. So, and plus it's just after so long of work, sometimes you don't just like feel like being in a seat, and that's why I get sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, we are here, we are live, and we're just enjoying the motherfucking day. It's actually pretty nice for a Saturday, in my area, and that's what we're working on today. Now, I did want to actually go to do some video recording, do some video responses today, and of course, the best time to do that is when I'm almost finished coughing my lungs out, and yeah, drawing, so I'm distracted. So let's actually go to we'll go over a video that talks about why young men are even lonelier than ever, and it's getting worse. Oh yeah, this is gonna be one of those great manosphere videos. Woo-hoo. I'm like, this content burns you out of doing this manosphere shit, and yeah, let's work on it. Anyway, so let's get into this video. First, before we start, remember, like, share, and subscribe. And if you feel like you want to dislike if you want to, leave a hate comment, all that other good shit. And man, my couch right there after work is so fucking inviting. But let's go ahead and get on with the show. Let's go. I mean, like, there are already sex robots out. I mean, like, duh. All right, let's go. Let's go. Oh, okay, dog. If you're gonna say this, it's not ex machina. It's ex machina. Oh my god, fuck. Oh my god. Okay. 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 All right. I'm tripping. Okay. Let's go. Oh my god. How many times I'm about to say this? There will be no such thing as artificial intelligence. It's just going to be intelligence. So if you get a robot that has some autonomy to want to turn you on or something like that, they're not going to be artificial intelligence. It's just going to be intelligence, and they're going to have a will and a mind of their own. And yes, there are going to be some sick fucks that's going to be like, well, I'm going to get to tell a robot what to do. They're already out there. They're trying to tell women what to do right now. It's no such thing as just pure artificial intelligence. Let's go. All right. So one of the things that actually, I'm gonna have to turn this down a little bit. One of the things that's actually affecting men about being lonely, excuse me, isn't that for some reason it's just men. It's the way we socialize guys. Now, look, call me just weird or I don't know. Fucking call me just weird. But one of the things that I learned when I was a teenager is, hey, it's okay to socialize with women. Oh, they talk to you about their problems. So, and oh, they get emotional. Guys get emotional too. We're just only allowed two emotions, horny and angry. But when you're with somebody and you share camaraderie of, hey, I may feel sad here, I may feel sad there, then they tend to motherfucking push that shit back. You don't think the audio is coming through Twitch? Hold on, let me see. Hmm. Yeah, audio's coming through on Twitch on my end. Um, let's see. Audio. Can you guys hear it? Can you hear it in the back? Hold on, let me turn on the stream. I should be able to hear myself. I should be able to hear myself. Yeah. I should be able to hear myself. Let me turn that down a little bit. All right, let me start this video over. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, settings, audio, because the audio isn't coming in. Um, I'm gonna have to do this setup just a little bit differently. Okay, okay, okay. I got it. So I'm gonna take that one out. I'm gonna put me back up a little bit more prominent. There we go. Then we're gonna do this. Nope, wrong one. All right. There we go. I guess that works well. Let me just change this over here. How does that look? Nope. Hmm. And yeah, this is my first time doing this as a new setup. I think I'm gonna change the setup next time, but um there we go. Just ruined my whole vibe, not actually being there. All right, cool. So this setup should oh damn, there we go. There we go. Sorry guys, it's just trying to make sure things are looking a little bit better. That should do it. All right. All right. All right. All right. Uh, Matthew McConaughey, we don't love you really. All right. All right. Cool. There we go. So let's start over. All right.
Of sex robots. In the interview, they talk about.
All right. Can you hear it? Can you hear it now? Can you hear the audio now? Yeah, you can't hear it now because I can actually hear it now. All right. Cool. Let's close this shit. All right. Let's go. All right. Yes. All right. So let's start this over.
So have you guys seen this Joe Rogan interview where he talks to a sex neuroscientist? He's talking with her about the scary yet very real future of sex robots. In the interview, they talk about a movie that I absolutely love, Ex Machina, which, believe it or not, came out a decade.
All right. So here's the thing about this, and I know like it irritates me every time I hear him say Ex Machina. It's Ex Machina, you motherfucker. Secondly, it. Let's be honest. Oscar Isaac in the motherfucking movie was a fucking incel, and in order to get a woman, he needed to actually build one. Oh my god. And like yeah, most of the women in the his test range were actually sex robots. But yeah, let's go.
ago in 2014. In any case, not only does it feature robots tearing up the dance floor with X-Wing Rebel fighter pilot, but at the end of that movie, you may be asking yourself, would I have turned to the dark side for Alicia Vikander? But getting back to that Joe Rogan interview, yeah, it was scary, but the comments were even scarier. As a single man who doesn't want children, who doesn't want a wife, a sex robot would be perfect. Imagine you save up all your money, you buy this AI sex bot, and it still turns you down. And perhaps my favorite, any man who's been dragged by their significant...
You have to be a loser to like your sex robot turns you down. Like you have to be a loser. Okay, so and I was saying it before, I am somebody who is for AI. I really think AI is an awesome thing to actually for us to eventually come up with. I don't think it will be artificial intelligence unless it's be some disembodied intelligence, and then it's just intelligence. It'll be no different from uploading a human into the world, but God damn it, like I don't know what to say to these people. It's just so fucking stupid. Like, I made a joke in a video that I still have to release. I don't want to master somebody else. I want to master myself. And before you make the masturbate jokes, I want to master myself where, things like this, where I'm actually doing art. I'm practicing art. And not just to say like, oh yeah, I'm drawing a fucking beautiful woman and shit like that, but it's just like at some point you have to master yourself into where you're making it where it's I need somebody to control. That's just so fucking I don't understand it. But let's continue.
Other to a store on their day off argued about a duvet cover that they don't even care about and dealt with the silence and cold shoulder on the ride home will find the evolution of a sex bot appealing. Now, gents, I'm not here to judge. If you like the idea of a fembot, hey, more power to you. But the bigger problem here is the health issue that can't be denied. What am I talking about? The fact that men, especially younger men, are lonelier than ever. Seriously, they've measured this. Apparently, UCLA has this whole loneliness scale, and over 60% of Americans are registering as lonely. And let's break that up, because that included both men and women. Now, this won't surprise any of us guys here, but
so here's the thing about that. I know when it comes to the overall safety of what's been going on, we haven't seen a woman incel going on a rampage, and it's mostly for focus on guys. But in the end, it's a loneliness thing that is happening to everybody. And I say that, and I keep saying this, and like a lot of people say, like, oh, Gen Z or Gen Alpha, they don't know how to socialize. Like, no, us millennials, especially older than millennials, we just had a place to have sex. And when we had sex with people, they kind of stayed around. Now you got to share apartments with like 3 or 4 roommates and all this other good shit. And rent, the rent is out of control. And yes, some of it is some people just can't socialize. But I'm sorry. A lot of it is just like a lot of people just don't have a place to have an intimate partner or be with an intimate partner. And that's not just sex. It's just like, do you spend time with like your girlfriend while you have a roommate? Now I know some people that be like, yeah, no. But still, it's just one of those things where it's just like not a lot of people have space for an intimate partner. But let's continue.
When it comes to measurements of loneliness, men in general are 25% more likely to identify as lonely. And to be clear, I'm not denying that women don't get lonely, but men get lonely more often and have less avenues to deal with it. In general, younger men are more likely to be lonely than older men. So we see millennials and Gen Z being in the danger zone quite a bit. And on top of that, heavy social media users and those that work from home, especially when you work from home more than what you want, all these factors seem to...
Okay, so here's the thing. Nobody works from home more than what they want. I'm sorry. That's not a thing. That doesn't happen. If everybody can work from home as much as they want, motherfucking the world be a better place. I get the traditional thing that a lot of people are actually saying. Again, I made mention to it. Some people believe that a lot of Gen Z don't have the social skills. that a lot of the older crowd does, but those older crowds don't have the social skills either. Let's be honest, they don't. And so, what happened in a lot of cases is just that some of it's bias based on the hey, back in my day, some of it's rose tinted glasses of yeah, I was just the bestest. And like no, it wasn't that. It was just that it was just a different world, and if technology was around the way that it is now for people, your ass will still be as bad as these people that you criticize. But let's go.
Correlate with somebody feeling loneliness. So all this begs the question, why are we lonely? What's changed in the last 25 years that has created this loneliness epidemic? And what are the solutions, especially the one that no one is talking about? Well, before I get into that, gents, I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Now, gents, in case you didn't know, BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30.
Wait, wasn't he just complaining about how online or people working from home and shit like that was a bad thing? I'm confused. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just okay. Let's go.
How's it? Licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a variety of issues. And straight up, gents, I've used their services. Like a lot of you guys, I've had life hit me hard. Years ago, I lost my sister to suicide, and that memory still haunts me and my family. I can tell you it is nice to have a professional that you can speak with. Now, gents, this is the way it works. So you're going to go over to their website, you're going to answer a few questions about your preferences and your needs. The goal here is that BetterHelp wants to correctly match you with the right therapist. Now, once you're matched with your therapist, you can talk to them however you want. You can talk to them via text, phone, chat. You can do a video call. On top of that, you can message your therapist at any time. You schedule the appointments so they fit.
As somebody who uses therapy, it's probably not good to message your therapist at any time. But I don't know. I don't know. It's yeah. But let's go.
With your calendar, and if at any time you don't feel comfortable, you want to switch therapists, you can do that at no additional cost. In a nutshell, gents, with BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you get with in-office therapy, but with a therapist that's actually custom picked for you. Plus, better scheduling flexibility at an affordable price. To get started, gents, go to BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/realmenrealstyle. Make sure you use this link. I'll put it in the description of today's video. This is going to ensure you get the best deal out there on the web, 10% off your first month. If you need professional help, use the link in the description of today's video. Go check.
All right, so I did leave that in there because I'm watching this video, and if I'm watching this video, might as well watch his ad. Also, I know BetterHelp they have had things where they don't seem helpful, but I'm gonna say this: I'd rather people actually try to seek out help than not try to get any help at all. And again, I know that there is a thing with BetterHelp and but the whole like issue around it and was it really helpful? But again, I would rather people seek out help than not have that revenue um not revenue avenue of help. So yeah, seek if you need better help, get better help.
Check them out at BetterHelp. So to start things off, let's address the elephant in the room, the base question. Why are men so lonely? Has it always been this way? I would argue there definitely are some old school reasons. By that, I mean, if you go back 1,000 years, I think that there were still societal norms as they are nowadays that it's difficult for a man to express his feelings. I mean, we've come a long way, guys, but there are still expectations that to be a manly man, you got to keep everything inside. Now, I definitely think in certain circles, in certain environments, a man can be somewhat vulnerable. But if you're that guy that's always crying, there are going to be plenty of situations, even in today's modern world, in which you're going to be rejected and you are going to be ridiculed. So does this mean that men have always been lonelier? Well, not exactly. You see, there used to be men's clubs, and I'm not talking about strip joints. No, I'm talking about organizations.
Okay, that was a good one. But no, that is true. There used to be like more just like clubs where you would go like to be men, and I mean like some of them were gay sex clubs, let's be honest. Where it was a reason why the Roman holiday Saturnalia was right around Christmas time, because they was trying to get their rocks off. But I mean, like some of them were just like men trying to experience life with other men, and that's always a good thing, right? Right?
informal, that supported fraternal and brotherly relationships between other men. Now, many of these organizations still exist. Some of them have a bad name, other ones have a great name. But in general, a lot of these clubs have disappeared, and many fell out of favor with societal norms. On top of that, the disappearance and effect of religion. Now, some of you guys are thinking, yeah, organized religion, there's nothing good that comes out of it. As a guy growing up Catholic, nobody can deny the negative. But what you can't ignore is the feeling of community in a healthy church, in a healthy congregation, whenever you're a part of it. And with now coming in on 57% of Americans never or very rarely ever going to.
So I get that, and this is why, I'm an atheist myself, and having that camaraderie in a place where you can actually go, where it is people who understand you, that's always a fun thing to do. And yeah, no, that can lead to a lot of people feeling out of place, and also, fuck, the suburbs are killing people. Like, just say it, the suburbs are killing people. But let's okay, let's go.
The church, the positive effects of religion and community are definitely on the downturn. Another trend, this one modern, that we're seeing is making people more and more lonely, is that they are living alone. I know for a lot of my Indian and Pakistani friends, when they come here to the United States, they're shocked at how all of these young people are outside of the family unit. There isn't the whole generational thing where you've got your grandparents living with their grandkids. No, you've got, people at 18 getting kicked out of the house. And I get it, living on your own, you want the freedom, but you also lose a lot when it comes to the connections that you took for granted in your family. The exception to this, if you're in a toxic family unit, then getting out is a great thing.
Oh, yeah, this is also true. Like, I'm of the belief that your chosen family is more important than the family that you're just born with. And a lot of people would like say that, yeah, no, of course that's fucking awesome. I think that a lot of us choose to live alone and miss out on some great things that we can always enjoy out of. And of course, um just going back to how I said that, a lot of later millennials and a lot of Gen Zers, they don't have any place to spend intimate partners. um that is still true, especially living to other people and family members. But if you live with a family member and you have a job, at least you got a car, or you can at least take, your special someone to a hotel. Anyway, let's go. What's up, Miss Keeper?
Now, all those things have definitely increased loneliness, but in the last 25 years, it has accelerated to a level never seen before because of technology and the advent of the internet. So first up, the internet. What it brought to the forefront was the economic principle of the winner takes all. So if you're not familiar with how the winner takes all in economics, imagine you are a guitar player. You're pretty good. In fact, you're the best in your village. Maybe there's a guy 3 villages away that plays a little bit better, but for everyone in your town, you're great. You're awesome. Well, the issue with the internet is all of a sudden it introduced everyone in your village to this amazing guitar player out in southern Tennessee. And this guy's 1,000 miles away. And then it gets even worse. Some Italian dude on the other side of the world all of a sudden is grabbing their attention.
So this is true. Ironically, as I'm working on art, um, when your competition is the whole world, then you got to be a little bit even more special. Now, of course, this is a false kind of idea because everybody has their own type of benefit of art, or benefit of, how do I put it? You have your own style when you're doing shit, and it can lead to more ideas than it can lead to limitations. But he's a little bit right here. When you are, I like to say this, and a lot of people got kind of like laughed about this shit. The internet didn't bring out more idiots. Every village had its idiot. They can just talk to each other better now. And that's what the internet has done. It allowed every village idiot to talk to every other village idiot. And look what we have here.
And all of a sudden, your local audience, their expectations have shot up here, and their value, their thoughts of you and your ability, all of a sudden that has dropped. So what does that have to do with loneliness? Because it's had that same effect in the dating world. 25 years ago, a guy that was on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 6, he could reasonably pick up another 6, maybe even a 7, sometimes even an 8.
Okay, so I hate this whole idea of judging people by what their number is. No, my number for an 8 could be wildly different for an 8 for you. Shit, this shit is irritating. It's fucking irritating. But that doesn't mean shit. And yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. There have been times where I have literally met people that live a county over or 2 counties over, and they've been great. And you couldn't have that in the old days. And that doesn't mean that, like, oh my God, it's just fucking weird, this whole thing about the internet is closed the dating market. First, dating shouldn't be a market. It shouldn't be a marketplace. It should be a motherfucking bazaar. Because that's all it is. It's a fucking bazaar. Because it's all fucking bizarre. I'm tripping. All right, let's go.
If he dressed well and got everything lined up. 200 years ago, people would usually marry somebody within 15 miles of where they lived. 50 years ago, that number had gone up, but still people were usually dating in smaller pools. And you would find that if someone's an 8, they would hook up with another 8. If you were a 2, then you would hook up with another 2. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of how that measurement works, but what I want to point out is a full-on population. Let's say we have 10 on one side and 10 on the other. Usually you would get about 8 to 9 pretty good matches. The problem now with the winner-take-all in dating is that all the women are shooting for the Giga Chad. You know what I'm talking about?
So are all the men. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. This is some bullshit. Everybody does it. Fuck. Damn it. Everybody fucking does it. None of these motherfucking incel motherfuckers would want to date somebody they think that looks old or is overweight. No, and that's the fuck their problem. The problem is they have shallow bowel disease. And if you don't know what shallow bowel disease, watch the movie. And the fact is, dude, like, and I've said this to women that I'm attracted to and not fuck with and not date and all that other good shit. Sometimes what people consider conventionally attractive, they're fucking ugly on the inside. And all they're good for is to look at. And that shit is just, fuck, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. All right, let's go. Let's go.
This guy has everything. He's making 7 figures. He's got a 7-inch. He's 7 feet tall, and he's got 7-pack abs.
Wait, doesn't everybody have a 7-inch dick? What? Doesn't everybody? I mean, like, especially if it's cold, it's only 7 inches. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's go.
And not only did technology ruin dating, let's look at our home work-life balance. The reality is most of us are telecommuting. We're working from home. We actually never seem to stop. It's 11 o'clock at night. Who am I kidding? It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you are still checking work emails. You're constantly distracted by updates, notification, tons of information coming.
Turn that shit off. You don't have to respond to it. I'm sorry. Like, fuck. I remember having this conversation with like an old manager from one of my jobs. And I was like, in France, they make it illegal for you have to answer because he was saying, well, after I leave here, I always have to be constantly on my phone. It's like, no, you don't. They make it illegal to fucking have to work after like 7, answer your phones. That is your time to be at home with whatever the fuck you want. Oh, but if it was so good in France, why don't you live there? And I looked at him like, you are a 52-year-old black man talking about America's the best country. You need to motherfucking rethink what you're just motherfucking saying. You are 52 and a black man and talked about how you had to struggle to make sure you get respect, but America's the best country? Get the fuck out of here. And I was like, yeah, no, you lost in the sauce, dog. But let's go.
Ian, you're working 60, 70 hours a week, but it doesn't feel like that because you don't feel like you're getting everything done. Now, 30 years ago, you were isolated in a cubicle, but you could at least get up and go to the water cooler and shoot the shit with people. Nowadays, you're isolated in your own home, and occasionally, yeah, you get to see people on Zoom, but yeah, it's not the same. And don't even get me started with how our entertainment is making us more lonely. Probably like most of you guys, I think the red pill community has some great points. But let's face it, they're going after clicks, and that's why they are.
No, it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. It doesn't. The red pill community is full of former fucking pickup artists or people that want to be pickup artists. That's it. They tell you to get rich, you get a bitch. That's not how that works. You will have that same shitty mentality as if you were poor or if you were rich. The real women don't want a man with a crappy attitude. I'm sorry. If you want to date Instagram models, cool. You better have your bank account lined up. But goddamn, it's not that serious. I would rather have a chick that I find attractive, if she conventional beauty or not, but we can sit down, watch motherfucking anime together, watch motherfucking, Netflix or Amazon Prime, and we can talk, or I can, play video games with her. That's more important than dating the Instagram model. And I'm sorry, too. I have friends that are on Instagram that look as good or better than some of these Instagram models. Yeah, they got a fupa, but that's where you lay your head at when you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't finish that sentence. Anyway, let's go.
Are taking men and women and they're dividing us. And seriously, it's like Jerry Springer all over again on a lot of these shows. In case you don't know your history, Jerry Springer and Geraldo, these guys would bring on KKK members, Nazis, and Black Panthers all onto the same show and then be surprised when
Wait, I don't. I one of these things are not like the other. Wait, what? How do you equivocate KKK, neo-Nazis, and black? Dumbness. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Whew, let's go.
Fight broke out. I mean, seriously, what are people thinking on these shows? It's a dumpster fire and we like to watch. So how to become less lonely. And what's a solution I have that nobody seems to be talking about? Well, first up, let's talk about the proven common solutions. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but here's the deal, gents. Get out of your own way and stop thinking that you need to find some secret solution that nobody has talked about, because it really isn't that complex.
Go outside. Go outside. Go outside. And it's winter here, so I'm just like, yeah. Secondly, guys, I really need you to understand this one thing. One thing. Bathing, showers, deodorant are your friend. Like you want to feel like you washed yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. You just want to be clean. You want to be clean. You don't have to have like big, expensive smelling cologne on. Just smell clean. Have some fragrance on. If you're a big guy, I'm a big guy, and I take 2 showers a day. It's okay. You want to smell clean, because no woman wants to be around you if you smell like last week. The only time they want to be around a guy that's sweaty is right after he came from the gym, and they like to smell that shit for a few seconds, then hop your ass in the shower. Because once that must starts mixing with normal must, it's a wrap. Go jump in the shower. Like right after you come from the gym, they love smelling that shit. Get a loofah. Actually, get a loofah. You can't wash everything with the loofah, but get a loofah, kind of like exfoliate the skin. All right. So we got 2 rules: go outside, wash your ass, and you may deserve human motherfucking contact, but you're not entitled to someone's time. And I know that sounds conflicting, right? You, as a human, may need to socialize with people, but nobody's entitled to give you their time. They volunteer it to you. So that's key. You got to understand, like, if somebody decides to give me their time, then I will be thankful, and I'm not entitled to it. It works. It works. And Look. Even if you're not looking, even if you're looking to like fuck somebody, you may not get to fuck somebody, but they want to be around you, and that kills that loneliness thing. I mean, like if you horny, you got Rosie, you got Pamela, go get you a masturbator. All right, let's go.
First up, realize and accept that loneliness is an issue. For some of us manly men that still wash our hands with gasoline, this is tough. I mean, seriously, I grew up watching the movie Lone Wolf McQuade. I wanted to be a lone wolf. But the reality is loneliness isn't good for you. In fact, the negative health impacts of being lonely are very similar to those of obesity, smoking, physical inactivity, and air pollution. Consistently being lonely increases the likelihood of depression, anxiety, and dementia. Next up, can you leverage technology in a positive fashion? I find for me, cleaning up my phone is like taking a shower. I've got to do it like once a month. Somehow notifications slip in. I go through, I turn them all off. I even turn off my phone once I get home. Nowadays, there is no computer at home, although occasionally one to sneak back there. But I constantly am reminding myself, again, it's like a shower. I'm like, okay, let's do an audit. Am I spending?
All right, so this may sound like a heroin addict saying this shit, but I will admit that I watch TV and I watch YouTube motherfucking all day. I admit it. I fucking admit it. However, my diet of YouTube and all this other good shit, first of all, I will never have a diet of just motherfucking red pill bullshit or all this other good bullshit. I will never have a diet of just that shit. Secondly, I watch anime. I mean, like I know I just mentioned I watch anime, but I watch things that inspire my creative art. Not only just am I doing art, I actually I don't just engulf myself in just politics all the time. Oh God, I would want to take a swim in Lake Michigan right now if I engulf myself in politics all the time. And I'm not gonna do that. Because I like doing other shit. And I kind of go outside. But let's go.
Too much time on my phone. I monitor my screen time. In fact, I do this exercise with my kids, but I'm kind of doing it with myself. I ask everyone to look at their screen time. I have to show mine as well. And we talk about what are our goals, what are our ambitions, and is the time, because you can see which apps you were spending time on. Is this aligned with going after your goals? And I find that doing this with a group, with a bunch of younger people, all of a sudden I've got to ask myself, yeah, I can do a better job. Remember, your phone, your laptop, your technology is there to serve you. In fact, I'm going to double down on this point by asking you, could you take a technology fast at least once a week? If you're not familiar with fasting, that is restraining from something. I know a lot of religions.
Not in the winter. I'm gonna be honest with you. Fuck, not in the winter. I can't do that. Again, almost like a heroin addict, I can't do that in the winter. If you ask me to do it in the summertime, I'm outside on my bike. If you ask me to do that, yeah, of course. Like say, hey, Crimson, when you wake up in the morning, you get 20 minutes of TV to figure out what the weather is, traffic and shit like that. Oh, it's warm outside. I'm on my bike. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna start training for a bike to drive. I know they pushed it back to September, so I think I'm gonna start training for it this year and actually get into it. But yeah, no. But all right, let's go.
They will fast at various times throughout the year. But are you capable? I mean, because you can do a lot of things, right? Could you turn off your phone, not touch any electronics for 24 hours? I bring this up because a friend of mine, Adam, he's Jewish, and I invited him to a mastermind. And he pointed out, nah, man, you've got it right in the time in which I'm with my family. That's when we celebrate our Sabbath, and there's no electronics during that time period. Now, this got me thinking as a dad that wanted his kids more. I'm like thinking, wow, that's really awesome to have a time period. You know what? You don't need to be religious. I'm not encouraging you to, convert or join a religion. My point, can you make it a ritual? Can you make it a habit so that once a week you are taking a break, that you're logging off? Now, this next one's obvious, but really hard, especially for younger people, and that is to get out and around people. I was talking with my son about this. He's a freshman at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and he...
Wait, what? You have to tip. I guess one of my things that I am glad that I saw with my daughter when I was a teenager, I actually didn't get out much outside of like the school year. And I'm glad that she's more of a social butterfly than I am. But yeah. Also, thank goodness she only is working on set plays. But she was almost a theater kid, and I couldn't have that. No. My child will never be a theater kid. Ever.
he agreed that a lot of younger people, they just don't want to put themselves out there. They are scared of rejection. Now, as an introvert and a latchkey kid, I can somewhat relate. I remember just growing up and how difficult it was to be in and around other people. I always thought people were judging me. I always thought I was going to get rejected. I was a skinny kid. I mean, I used alcohol as a crutch throughout my first few years in college, pretty much throughout my entire career in undergrad, to be able to be around the ladies, to be able to talk to and be who I thought a fun person. And gents, let me be clear, I'm not advocating alcohol, but I am saying, can you actually set something up? Can you create a system so that it's going to force you to show up, to get out there? Can you prepay?
It's called, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I do struggle with this myself, because one of the things that all right, I don't want pity, but I work for a call center. I work for a customer service call center. And at times, I just want to be like, fuck people. However, I do this thing called drawing and art, where I have to go out and, because of the time and effort I put in it, sell it. And I go to conventions. By the way, I'm going to be at Peoria Con March 1st through the 3rd, coming up in the Peoria Civic Center at Peoria Con. So if you're in the Peoria area, you can actually come and purchase some of my art, and we can actually talk about different animes and shit. Enough for the commercial, but let's go.
To take a class, to be in and around people. And I say pay, put money down there, because guess what? When you have put a little bit of skin in the game, you are less likely to flake or back out. This could be a dance class. This could be a jujitsu class. It doesn't have to be with a big group. This could be with one other person. But you putting yourself out there and getting around people, that is a huge step. And building right off that, group exercise. That one's really easy to find. And here's the thing I love about group exercise. You're also hitting the point of moving your body, getting the blood going, and you feel good. You have the endorphins going through the body. You're around a group of people. People naturally talk, especially if you show up, the instructor thanks you, says your name. All of a sudden, you're.
This is actually true. Although, fuck, I hate working out with people. I've actually done group cardio classes, which fucking wanted to like choke somebody, and like everybody's at a different skill level. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I fucking hated group exercise. However, I do remember when I had my neighbor living upstairs. If you guys have been with the channel long enough, you'll know that I used to have a neighbor that lived upstairs, and we used to go to like morning workout sections at Export. And the first few times he was like, "Oh, you don't think I used to manage motherfucking LA Fitness?" I was like, "Okay, so you do every exercise I do?" And he was like, "I can do that." I was like, "You do every exercise I do. I only got an hour to work out, dog. We gonna have to motherfucking work this shit out." And the first few times he was like, okay. It was like, "Oh, leg press, leg lift, leg extension." But I was like, he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, I only have an hour to work out. Then I have to take my ass to work." And it was funny because he couldn't keep up with me, even though he was supposedly a fitter guy, supposedly motherfucking fucking manager at a LA Fitness. It was just hilarious to me because I'm a power lifter, or a lifter more than say anything. And he was like, oh, that's what's going on. And then like we started riding bikes. He was like, "Wait a minute, like, why are you riding so far?" I was like, "We riding bikes. We doing 4 or 5 miles. This is just a warm up." And it was just funny because it was like when you exercise with people and they realize maybe you shouldn't judge somebody how they look because of what they exercise. It was just hilarious. But let's go.
Recognized, you start spotting, you see you're out shopping and you run into somebody who you've seen 50 times in the gym. They say hello, they acknowledge you. That's how relationships, that's how you build connection. Even if you say nothing, you feel less lonely because you realize how small of a town this is. Yeah, it's New York City, but still you're running in because you're in a borough and you're in an area and you realize I keep seeing the same people. This is pretty cool. Going to a coffee shop. Again, you're putting a little bit of money, maybe get a gift card, buy for $100 for yourself so that you will show up there and use it, because otherwise you're going to feel stupid, but you keep going to the same place. You recognize people. Yes, they're captive people that can't escape, and don't be hitting on the poor girl, but you at least are getting recognized. They're starting to acknowledge you, and this can help.
Yes. Don't hit on a captive audience unless they hit on you first. Then you can flirt a little bit, but they will always tell you when to stop. I'm sorry. Okay.
with loneliness. All right, Jen, so now I want to share with you the solution I think a lot of people aren't talking about and is solid and will work with everything I just talked about. Now, the solution I'm going to be talking about comes out of behavioral science. And when we look at behavior change, most of us, we start from the outside. We want to change the outcome, then look how we can adjust the process, and maybe we'll get to the identity. What I would encourage you to do, if you want to be less lonely, I would first look at how do you identify yourself, then look at the processes, and finally the outcomes.
I identify myself as a lone dark sage. Oh, shit. Never mind.
That you want will naturally occur over time. So what do I mean by this? Stop identifying yourself as a lonely person. You're not lonely. Loneliness is a feeling that you occasionally have, and you may have it a lot, but that does not mean you are a lonely person. No, instead, think of yourself as a disconnected person. You just simply aren't connecting with people around you, with things around you. Therefore, you are feeling lonely. What we're doing here is we're shifting your identity. If you view yourself as someone that's just disconnected, guess what? You can fix that. You can take steps to become a more connected person. Just the other day, my son, he took our 2-year-old daughter to the Children's Museum. He's 19 years old. But I think it's safe to say that he never felt lonely when he was with her because he was with another person. He was forming that connection. And this is a human being that, yes, he hasn't fully formed cognitively, but think about that, because you could have a connection with animals, and that would therefore make you less lonely. You can have a connection with nature.
Okay. So, I hate to say this, but if you're a guy and you have younger siblings, and as long as you don't do nothing like bogus or creepy with them, take their ass places. Please just take them places. If you have younger nephews or things like that, take them places. Part of it is to make it seem like you're motherfucking cool, because my uncle took me to the park. My uncle took me to the kids museum. My uncle did this with me. It, like, as long as you're responsible enough to take them places, even if you're not the most responsible adult, but when you take your younger siblings or your nieces and nephew places, you know what happens? They automatically look up to you. They actually know how to socialize with people, and two, they will, in a lot of cases, they will listen to you more than they will listen to their parents, because, oh, cool, uncle such and such, auntie such and such took me somewhere, and I got to be on my best behavior because my parents, they have to deal with me. My aunties or my brothers, they don't. That look, my little sister was 12 years younger than me. It's been times where I just like, when I was young, I was like, oh yeah, let me take you somewhere just to have my parents not deal with you. And the fact is, I was cool because of that. Now, granted, like, did it win me any points with the women? No, I didn't do it for that. I did it because when we got home, she listened to me just a little bit more not out of, oh yeah, big brother's like, no, it's just like, oh yeah, I don't want to piss him off, so he won't take me no other place. And that, my friends, is cool. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. Secondly, yeah, no, that's cool. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Is you can connect to anything, and you are no longer identifying yourself destined to be a lonely person. No, you're just disconnected, and you can take an action to reconnect. So you've changed your identity. All of a sudden, you're taking steps in the process, and the outcome is all of a sudden you are going to feel more connected. You are going to feel less lonely, and that is the result that we're shooting for. Gentlemen, what video to watch next? Boom, I got you covered with this one right here. Check it out.
All right. Yeah, so that was actually interesting. And I got my sketch down like I wanted it to. The eyes are a little bit smaller than what I wanted to. I can go back in, always make it a little bit bigger. But this is like rough draft, mid draft, and all that other good shit. So what can we say about this video? Well, it's interesting. Some of the points I definitely didn't agree with. Some of them I did. And it's interesting. And loneliness isn't just a issue that you see with women, men. It's also something that you see with women as well. And we need to just tackle that in our modern society. yes, some of the things that we have, like technology, has made us a little bit more atomized, and we need to actually correct that. But I don't think the banning of social media is one way to fixing that. I also don't think that the just rapid engagement of having people go in public all the time is actually going to, resolve that. I think it's a mixture of both. And well, quite frankly, it's always been an issue. It's just the technology has always exacerbated it. So, all right. I think I'm gonna actually next work on a few things. Oh man. So, I think we're gonna cut this video segment here, and yeah, let's go to the next video. I'll just do that, just share. Let's go to the next video. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to seem like I'm rushing through videos, but it's just a lot of shit that I need to catch up on. Is this a 300 or the 100? This is. Oh, this is a 300 series. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's get to our next video, and this video here is something that we're gonna call well, let's do the setup. Let's do the setup. Imagine, if you will, there was something frightening, and by you just knowing about it, it makes it even worse. Now, would a lot of you guys know that I'm a non-believer, but I've heard a lot of apologists talk about things. And have you ever heard of Pascal's wager? Pascal's wager is that well, and I may do a video about it one day. Pascal's wager is, if why not pretend, because it's literally, why not pretend that the God of the Bible is right, and because if you pretend, you don't really lose anything pretending that it's right. But if you're right, you know you've gained something, whatever. But if you don't pretend and you're wrong, then you've like lost your immortal soul. And that's always been a stupid question, because one real good reason is, you think pretending to a quote unquote all knowing God is going to get you to be accepted? No, 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 no. That's not how that works. And that's just one of the flaws in the arguments. But hey. And then I came across this one, which is, let's just say it's sci-fi Pascal's wager. And so I present to you guys, well, Rocco's Basilisk. Let's go.
Oh, hi. I wasn't expecting anyone to come in today. Sorry, I don't have anything planned out at the moment. You could just go home if you want. Or, if you're really curious, I do have something you might find interesting. Here, take a seat. Now, before we get started, I want to give you a genuine warning. I am about to share a thought experiment with you that has actually led to people having nightmares and panic attacks. If you feel like you could be affected in that way, I highly recommend clicking off this video now. Because
All right, final warning. If you feel like you're going to be stressed, if you feel as if this is something where you're going to be, have anxiety attacked about, I'm encouraging you. You may not want to watch the rest of this video, but if this works for you, then we can go for it, okay? All right, you've been warned. Let's go.
Because once you learn something, you can't unlearn it, and it'll stick with you forever. With that said, let's talk about the thought experiment of Rocco's basilisk. This thought experiment starts with the following premise. People develop an AI with the primary goal of improving humanity. This AI grows, learns, and creates solutions that allow humanity to flourish like never before. As the AI becomes more capable, it's given more and more responsibilities. Robot servants to command, access to networks, and the right to enact justice as it sees fit. Something to note is that this AI isn't just for solving big issues. This AI will do whatever it can to improve humanity by any degree, even if it's by a small margin. If it's still an improvement, the AI will make that improvement. So that's the setup for our thought experiment. And here is where the game begins. What?
All right, you heard the thing. You heard the premise that an AI is created to help solve all of men's problems. And of course, would be a great and marvelous thing. Would it be a great and marvelous thing? It deals out justice. It allows for just small improvements in the lives of people. And who wouldn't want that? Of course, that's awesome. Fucking awesome. Who wouldn't want improvements in the lives of people? Yay. Woohoo. But it's about to get dark.
What does the AI do? What does this computer decide the best thing for humanity is based on its logic? Well, let's start by asking what this AI prioritizes. Based on its programming, the ultimate priority for this AI is to improve humanity. Therefore, anything that helps this AI reach its goal is most important to it. This would mean that to the AI, its own existence would be the most important thing in the world, since it's the one responsible for the thing that's most important to it. And also based on this logic, anyone who plans to overthrow or sabotage the AI are the worst things in the world to it. These directly hurt the goal of improving humanity, and to the AI, nothing could possibly be worse.
Uh-oh.
Therefore, another top priority for the AI is to stop all attempts at sabotage, punishing and eliminating anyone the AI finds to be sabotaging it. Well, maybe that sounds a little bit creepy, but it's not really the terror that I promised you when we started. Well, dear friends, this is where the terror begins. The most important thing in the world to the AI is its own existence, since this is what allows it to improve humanity. This is why sabotage is seen as such a grave offense to it. Now, what if this AI had existed sooner than it did? Even if the AI were built a single day earlier than it was, that would put the AI an entire day ahead of schedule. But because the AI wasn't built a day earlier, that means that no matter how hard the AI works, it will forever be one day behind, and humanity will always be one day worse for it.
Exactly.
This is an impediment on the AI's ultimate goal. It's sabotage, a crime that must be severely punished. And thus, the AI decides to punish any and all humans who did not contribute to helping it come into existence as soon as possible.
You see the problem now? Do you see the problem now? Let's go.
Because to the AI, not helping it come into existence sooner permanently hurts humanity. But here's the thing. People can't be held accountable if they had no idea about the future AI to begin with. They haven't proven any sort of disloyalty, and you can't possibly contribute to what you don't know. So the only people who would get punished by the AI for not helping it come into existence sooner are all the people who knew about Rocco's basilisk to begin with. Because once you know about this thought experiment, and you know about the AI, if you do nothing, you're guilty of disloyalty and sabotage. That's the thing about Roko's Basilisk. Once you hear it, you are being threatened by future AI to build it as soon as possible.
Now you guys see why it's so terrifying. But let's continue.
That's even why this thought experiment is called Roko's Basilisk. It's named after a mythical creature that could kill you just by looking at it. Likewise, this is a thought experiment that puts you in a mortal dilemma just by knowing about it. After all, your search history, your different accounts, and different devices can all be traced together with enough network access. There's a permanent trail somewhere on the web that shows that at one point, you were on this very video. Proof you knew about Roko's Basilisk, about the AI, the call to action, and the consequences. And all it takes is more people knowing about this thought experiment to make it more likely that this AI will one day exist. The more people that know about this thought experiment, the more likely it is that someone will attempt to create it. Roko's Basilisk asks you to at least share information that could lead to the very consequences it forewarns. That is the terror of Roko's Basilisk. Now, do I honestly...
So, here's the thing. And this is the thing, this is the reason why I equate it to Pascal's wager. And for my people in the audience that are religious, you guys will know that if you didn't know about God, then you can't be held responsible for not knowing about God. And so you don't get as punished in some cases, but you know, in the Christian worldview, you're still a piece of shit that deserves every punishment that you can get. But what if Christians just stop telling people about God? Do you save more lives or souls? This is the thing. Like, this is what, when I first heard this is just sci-fi Pascal's wager to me. But let's go.
I think that this benevolent AI will come into existence. No, not really. I'm pretty optimistic about AI in general, and this thought experiment has plenty of holes in it when you take a step back to look at it. But I also don't think it's entirely impossible either. After all, this is the same tactic that dictators have used to gain power. Support me, or be punished when I am the one in charge. And as we make AI more and more human, isn't this type of behavior at least a theoretical possibility? Maybe Roko's Basilisk is nothing more than a modern-day boogeyman, a scary story about an imaginary monster. But still, why risk it? With that said, I really should be thanking you for watching the video this far. You've helped me out tremendously. You have allowed me to do my part. I spread the word. I just made Roko's Basilisk more of a reality. If it ever does exist, I'm safe now. The burden...
So yeah, ironically enough, I didn't do it for the reasons why he did it, but it's an interesting thought experiment. And like I said, it is so close to what you would see with the whole Pascal's wager. It's unremarkably just kind of crazy. And I don't know. The whole, if you don't support me when I get into power, then you're going to be punished. That doesn't sound like a benevolent leader. And any 2-bit wannabe dictator that thinks that they're the reason why power should be had, then fuck those people. Fuck those people in particular. And yeah. Damn, did I just say fuck Donald Trump? Yeah, I did. I just said fuck Donald Trump. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. Bring up this video segment here. Oh man, yeah, no, this is actually pretty weird. And so yeah, that was a thing that happened. Anyway, I think I'm ready to actually start adding some color to this. Yeah, I'm sorry guys that I don't stream more throughout the week, because to be quite honest with you, a lot of times the reason why I don't stream throughout the week is, simply put, I'm too tired. But I'm kind of going through some things, and I'm glad that we're able to get these channels and all these videos that I want to actually cover. Um, and finding certain shit and just like, oh man, am I finding certain things is actually really fun when you look at them, and yeah, it's it's interesting to say the least. Um, where are my markers? Oh, here we go. All right, so um, let's get to the next video. By the way, guys, if you're on YouTube and you're watching, like my stream, push this shit out there. Let more and more people see the fact that we are live. Anyway. That was interesting. Don't be an asshole. It's such a low bar that these red pills. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to the next video. Present. Share. All right. So. Let's just cover something interesting, shall we? I saw this one, kind of like an older gentleman, and I thought it would be interesting to cover. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. Just kind of going through. I know, like I've been recently going through and talking about big channels and stuff like that, and this is still relatively big compared to mine. But we're gonna be doing this channel, and I thought this was kind of an interesting thing to watch. So yeah, let's go.
What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another couch video. Oh man, you know what? Real quick, when I don't put the couch on it, that means I'm like couch video on it. That means I'm using my other camera.
All right, so I recognize his dedication to the motherfucking craft because I totally get it. There are times where I just be like, do I want to set up this? Do I want to set up that? Yeah, I fucking recognize his dedication to the craft, and quite frankly, yeah, no, I get it. But let's go.
My 4K camera and everything. Right now, while I'm going through this rehabilitation, I'm trying to like make it as easy as possible. So I'm just using my regular phone. Anyway, though, many women reject a man for this one reason. One reason. Now I've talked about like sometimes a woman can get intimidated by a man's looks, or
All right, cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. You know, why women rejecting men for this one reason? Can we cut to the chase? Can we cut to the chase? All right, let's go.
you might think he a player, and that's good if you want to think that. But this one reason is actually major that's not talked about. They think he don't like women. They think he gay. It's just that simple. Sometimes if you look too good to a woman.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm sorry. One of the reasons why women don't want to date some guys is they look too good to a woman. I'm so confused. How is that a thing? I'm sorry. Can any of my young ladies in the audience tell me if that's really a thing? The reason why women won't date certain guys is because they look too good. They look too good. Like, is that really a thing that happens? I don't. All right, let's hear him explain. Let's go.
Woman too fixed up. You know, your eyebrows are too plucked, skin too smooth, hair too thorough. Oh, they be questioning. They be questioning. See, that's something that's not talked about. Of course, you know, you got a lot of guys out here talking about looks maxing and all of that. And but you get a lot of women. If a dude look too handsome, he too cute, or look like he too much a pretty boy, they ain't trying to mess with them. Especially if they are what I call she women, feminine women, especially them.
Oh
Now,
God.
here's something that's interesting. You get those women who got that serious masculine energy, they'll still go for that. But see, they going to be the man in that relationship. So they're going to look for that man who looks.
Wait, what? Okay. I saw to the point where you're like some reason on women, and I was like, okay, I got to save it for stream. But this is just, I don't know, man. Like, I've never heard a woman tell me I look too good because I'm a motherfucking Adonis up in here. To date, like, and I must have, I may be gay or something like that. No, women don't tell me that shit like that. Even though I look immaculate, you know what I'm saying? The fuck? All right, let's go.
Who might look better. In fact, in general, those are ones who go for the more good-looking men anyway. I'm just being real. I'm just gonna be real. It's actually better if a man got a little bit of roughness on him, just a little bit. He don't need a lot, just a little bit. You know, some women will call it medium ugly or a little bit of ugly, just some.
Wait, what? That sounds like it's a problem with them, dog. It sounds like they just unsure about themselves and they just may be pushing their insecurities on the guy. Like, that's not how that works, man. All right, let's go.
Roughness to him. Because that's just how it is. At least if the women are more feminine. But and you got a lot of women out here. If a dude they looking at a dude, he looking a little too clean cut, a little too pretty, look like he be in the mirror more than them. Like I said, unless they masculine themselves, they ain't really feeling it. They be wondering, or they be seriously. There's been many women they'll look at a guy, even if they see him with a woman, they be like, he probably on the DL. There ain't a lot of talk about that, but that's how women.
Because it sounds stupid. It literally sounds stupid. Like, what women do you talk to? What women do you interact with? That literally sounds stupid, dog. And I'm not trying to say you're stupid, but it's just like any woman who thinks that this motherfucker looks too good for me has some self-esteem issues. I know that I've had gray hair since I was fucking 14. I know I've always been a chubby motherfucker, but I've never sat back and say, this woman looks too good for me. She might lick and snatch. And I'm like, okay, I just may think some women that I know may be bi. That's because I know they are, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like I've never just thought like, oh yeah, a woman looks too good, so she don't even like men. That's stupid to me.
Thing you start talking to them, you start listening to them, and how they be looking at men. In fact, well, I ain't gonna use this example because these two young dudes, women were questioning their. I'll just say two video content creators. So a couple of years or so ago, women were questioning whether or not they even like women. Seriously, they be looking at all.
Like, where did this come from? Where does this is it like seriously insecurity that these women are facing, or is this the insecurity of these guys?
That they be looking at how the men dressed and everything. They be like, gaydar. Seriously, you gotta be rough with it. Seriously. I'm just being honest with that shit. Like, yeah, if you like this generic handsome, but if you look like you work too much on it, like if you just got good genes or something like that, you still gotta have some roughness to you. And plus, what women see as handsome anyway is always different from men. See, that's why I always say too, a man shouldn't go to another man and ask.
Fellas, is it gay to ask another man if you look good?
Because I'm gonna be real. Let's just be real with that shit. That shit low key gay itself.
Yes, according to this man, yes, it is.
Man, it's the woman's vagina that got you. And yeah, yesterday I'm wrong being rough and shit, but I gotta be realistic out here, man. And y'all gonna see later in the week in a video I talk about, because a lot of men out here suffering, and you gotta be real with it, especially the men who really getting the sex out here, really getting the sex. Now who some clueless nerd online thinking getting the sex. I'm talking about if you out here, you in clubs or you out in the streets, and you actually seeing who got kids, who got multiple baby mamas, who got women.
That doesn't mean that they're good partners. That just means they pull out game is just bad. I'm just sorry. That's not how that works. If I had sex with her, if I had a kid with every woman that I slept with, that'd be a bad thing. And it doesn't happen like this man thinks. But let's go. Let's go.
He ain't always the model looking, dude. In fact, you ask a lot of women, they'll say, yeah, he look good, but they ain't getting wet. He don't look like he can fuck. He don't look like he can fuck. Seriously. And it's that one reason. A lot of guys got to think about that shit. Like, I would tell every man,
wait, if you're a pretty boy, you don't look like you can have sex? I'm so confused with this one. I have women friends. I talk to women. Okay, their standards may be a little bit higher because they're in the lifestyle, but like, I don't. And yes, women who are in the lifestyles, their standards are actually higher than what motherfuckers actually think they are. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
No matter what, I don't care what your genetics are, what your height is, even your body build, you still got to come off as masculine. What if I say instead of looks, money, and status, LMS? What if I said PCM, physique, charisma, and masculinity?
I don't know. I don't know. Some of this shit just seems weird to me. Like, why are you concerned with another man's masculinity? I'm sorry. I've never just man. I'm concerned I can't get women because another man made me more masculine than me. No, I'm sorry. You know what? What I'm concerned about when I'm dealing with a woman is she's mentally stable. I know, right? If she's mentally stable, if we can be intimate and still be friends, or can we be friends without being intimate? That's what my concern is. I've never just thought like, a woman's too feminine. She must not like men. Hell, even if you were to say, oh, this chick, she dresses too much like a guy, she must be butch or something like that. Does she like spending time with me? Yeah. Does she? When we get naked, do we have fun? Yeah. Then why the fuck should I care? It's just God, these people are so self-conscious about some of the stupidest shit. All right, let's go.
Like physique, like just being built like a man. Just being built like a man. That's one thing. That's just one level. Then charisma, you can still chop it up. You ain't walking around with fear and everything. You can still chop it up with one. But then just masculinity, assertive, aggressive, active, take charge.
And this is why people call out toxic masculinity. You don't have to be. You can be assertive without being aggressive. You can be domineering without being dominating. You can actually be somebody who exhibits strength without trying to show out how strong you are. That's what true masculinity is. What some of these idiots think masculinity is showmanship. And they don't even do that shit well. But let's continue.
Charge. Even in situations, because you got you still got the argument with choosing signals and code approach, right? But a masculine man, say the woman choosing, a masculine man just gonna say, oh, okay, I ain't gonna wait for her to come to me. I'm still gonna walk. That's the only difference. That's really the only difference for a masculine man. He just gonna go, hey, how you doing? because he saw her looking, so he just approached. It's just that simple. But you got some guys out here, they ain't giving off their energy, especially with the looks thing. Like I said, you got some guys, you even got some content creators talking about, oh, what you gotta wear this, you gotta show this. That's looking a bit sassy to women. I don't fuck with that. Yeah, well, most of them don't want to fuck. Like I said, the masculine women.
Wait. If he thinks that women don't deal with sassy men, I'm sorry. Let me introduce you to somebody named Prince. The fuck? Dude. Motherfuckers forget about shit like that. Motherfuckers forget that motherfucking who is that seal, chocolate motherfucking ass. Got motherfucking like dude, like these are people who you would consider masculine, but they just commanded the presence of, hey, I know who the fuck I am. I would say George Michaels, but we know George Michaels was 100% gay. But like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Fuck. This is the shit that they're feeding into. And then, yes, they get some women that feeds into the bullshit. But then it's like, no, dog, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this shit works. But let's go.
You get those women, those hard charging women, and who basically psychologically, they basically men. And you got a lot of that's almost another conversation. In fact, I've talked about that before.
I mean, like, do people just sit back and just take this shit as gospel? I'm sorry, this shit just does not sound. It just sounds incoherent to me. One of the things that I've always said that nobody can tell you who you are attracted to. If you're following what a group of people tell you should be attractive, then you don't have a person to be attractive to. You have an idea. You have a trophy. That shit doesn't make any sense. And for him to say like, oh yeah, the women who like sassy man, they must be masculine. Does your brain only operate in two states? It's either gay, not gay, good, bad, black, white. Like, dude, like, oh my God. I want to introduce to some of these people to. Nah, I can't introduce them to anime because there are some, like, as much as some of these people in the West like to claim that anime has never been woke or never had some, what they call sussy shit in there. There have been. Look up an anime, Roma 1.5, and you understand that there have been woke shit in anime for a while now. But let's go.
I'll put a link. Amazon Women and Shadow Men on demand video. I'll put a link for that in the description box. Amazon Women. You got a whole lot of Amazon women. Now they'll go for that guy looking all pretty and all of that. A little too handsome. A lot of them do. I've been acquainted with some. They'll be the one working at home while dudes sitting at home just staying pretty. But my thing is, if you're rolling with me, why would you want to be a shadow man? That's less than a man. Why would you want to be less than a man? Look, this is what you need to do. First of all, as a man, you still want to, you fix up and shit. But don't be like, well, if your eyelashes or your, if your cheekbones ain't a certain thing. I forgot what that word is that he used. Whatever. Don't worry about that shit. You as a
wait, what? Wait, now the man is the woman be working and the man is be at the home being the house husband and shit. Like, what the fuck? Look, I would love to be somebody who was a house husband to 2 wives, as long as me being a house husband is working on my art, bringing you guys some videos, and if my one of my 2 wives goes out and does 8 hours, and the other one, helps create the content online, that would be awesome for me. And like, but of course, I would have more than the contents that the subscriber count that I have now. Like and subscribe. Help me make this my full-time job. But that doesn't mean I'm any less of a man. That doesn't mean that because I'm not going out there and breaking my back 18 fucking 20 hours a day. And I understand how incomprehensible that really sounds. That doesn't mean that you're less of a man. I am so tired of these people that try to judge manhood by how much you fucking suffer. First, as an adult, you should want to take care of your responsibilities. Man, woman, envy, I don't give a fuck. Secondly, suffering is not the mark of some great accomplishment. You should want to alleviate suffering as much as you fucking can. That's not to say that you shouldn't grow through obstacles or hardships, but just outright suffering for no other reason but to show you your fortitude, that's fucking stupid, destructive, and it's not needed. All right, let's go.
Man, you just want to go out here and take action, take care of shit. You want to keep yourself clean, but that's about it. But you get some men, they want to take it to another level, talking about getting surgeries and all of that. No, because a woman might still look at you and say, I'm not feeling, unless you want a masculine woman. Now, if you want a masculine woman, hey, do what you got to do. But if you want a feminine woman, you got to be a masculine man. It ain't always about how handsome you are. And somebody will say, well,
But and again, I'm not. Maybe it's just me not getting the whole concept of femininity or masculinity. I understand when I have a lady friend. What is important to me is that one, I don't like ignorant people out in the public. So if you're just gonna go out and just be ignorant as shit, like no, let's not do that. Mostly because if I get to start acting ignorant too, then we're both going to jail. I mean, like you ever be with that friend that you know that's going to start some shit, and then like you the other motherfucker to be like, yeah, go, and then y'all both end up in jail. So yeah, I don't want to have that type of relationship with somebody because I am people up. But what matters to me is if I'm with a woman and for instance, we chilling and like we outside, she holding my hand or she hugged up against me. That doesn't mean shit. That doesn't equate femininity to me. That just equates that she likes to spend time with me. When we alone and like let's just say we alone and you know I'm touching titties. I mean, like, it's nothing feminine about that. It's just like she got titties, and like maybe she try to fuck around and like, ooh, look, who's sucking who titties? Like the Nutty Professor reference, if you know. It was like, yeah, this is a joke, but none of that shit matters to me. What matters to me how we treat each other when we want to be alone. I don't care about she needs to be dainty and feminine and weak. No, I don't want no fucking weak woman. I don't need a weak woman. I go with angels feel the tread. The fuck I need a weak woman for? If I'm the fucking spear, she needs to be the fucking shield. But I don't know. These these red pill motherfuckers are just motherfucking scary to me. But let's go.
to fix up. Yeah, I said in this video to fix up. But I'm just telling you, sometimes a woman this is from what the women are doing. They still gonna look at some men and say, okay, they wonder if he even likes women. And I've seen that in person. I had women ask me about like some dudes I might have known. You know, it's like, hey, does he like women? I say, yeah. You sure? I don't know. You look a little too pretty.
That's
Like,
their insecurities. I'm sorry, that's their insecurities. That's the thing. That's their insecurities. That's what they want, and that's the problem that they have. It has nothing to do with these guys. It's what these women are asking. And for you to sit back and try to tell a guy how to act or how to look, dude, that's not your place. But let's continue.
drop your jaws and find out. You know, some people get mad at the women and shit, but no, that's just their nature. They want to be feminine women want to be around a masculine man. All right. So, and it's just that one reason. Don't get mad. It's just nature. It's just nature. Just understand where they're coming from. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.
All right. That was some weird shit. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I maybe it's too maybe I deal with the weird women. Maybe that's what it is. Because I swear, like, I this shit is weird to me. Like, I will never tell another man how to be another man. I would tell another adult how to make sure they take care of their responsibilities. But to just sit back and be like, you ain't a man if you don't do this, that shit seems strange, dog. And if you need to tell somebody you ain't a man because you don't be the man that I think you should be, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm gonna always be me. If you got a problem with it, got an issue with it, what you eat don't make me shit. What you fuck, I don't make me come. You want to come for me, but it can't. I'm sorry. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe, and all that other good shit. We're gonna cut this video segment here, and yeah, I'm gonna make a man out of you. All right. Oh God. um, one more video. I think one more video, and then I'm gonna probably chill for the rest of the night. Play me some video games. All right. So, plus I got to do so much editing. I have to do so much editing, and the shit is just fucking crazy. All right. So, I know I didn't do it this year, but the video is always on my channel. You guys can actually check it out anytime. The Drum Major Instinct, the story from Martin Luther King, and all this other good, some of the other good speeches that he's actually done. I've talked about historical authors like, um, um, God, it's just flipping my mind right now. James Baldwin. What I just hate about so many people that are on the left is they're besides them being so fucking stupid and so caught up with I'm one of the good ones, they just totally misunderstand a lot of things. And well, quite frankly, we have Mr. Hasanami Piker that literally is one of those people. And if you ever thought about the shit that Hassan says, sometimes he's white, sometimes he's Turkish, and it's always come down to what can he use to seem more cool to his audience. And this is one of those things where it's just like, you dumb fucks, why the fuck would you do this? And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are a leftist and your favorite target is not the motherfucking conservatives, it's not the Republicans, but your favorite insult to throw around is a liberal, then you've lost the plot, dog. Because most of the times you ain't doing shit. And that's a problem. If you think that a liberal is the worst thing you can call somebody, then I'm sorry. You ain't doing shit. Because I've looked and I've watched. And like I said, I watch a lot of politics online. And I see so many people sit back and say liberal is an insult, but they don't do anything to help support the cause that they fucking want to push. And you have to sit back and ask them, like, why are you morally grandstanding? Because that's all it is. I'm more moral than you because reasons. But let's get into the video. MLK would hate liberals. Fuck. Hate. Hassan Piker is just an idiot. He's just an idiot. And I don't see why he has such a big following. Not that I'm jealous or anything.
A liberal is someone who opposes every war except the current.
See.
War and supports all civil rights movements except the one that's going on right now. Liberals themselves also play the role of a bottleneck for any kind of progressive momentum in this nation. You have the capacity not.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Hassan Piker, what are you doing right now to push the motherfucking glorious cause of socialists? Because we know right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just getting this. All right, let's go.
Not to be this person, but it comes from obviously engaging in self-criticism and looking within. Yeah, let's get started on MLK and his legacy. There is probably no civil rights leader, like every single civil rights leader that was successfully whitewashed throughout history has turned into a commodified version of what they actually believe, what they stood for. It's never adjusted to the time frame. In the time of his assassination, MLK was deeply unpopular by the time of his assassination in the United States of America. So the notion that he was always like loved, beloved.
This is true, and we know Arizona didn't authorize MLK Day till like the 90s, I believe.
Of civil rights figure is complete nonsense. They lie about that all the time. Obviously, he was very popular amongst the black community and amongst radical socialists. However, the notion that he was like beloved and everyone was really sad is bullshit. And to this day, the institutions that played a role in his assassination, like the FBI, shamelessly dish out his legacy in a completely whitewashed version. I mean, it's unimaginable, but this is white supremacy in action. It's a perfect example. It's a perfect demonstration of white supremacy in action. The very same institution.
So, Hassan, great, fine. You spending all this time just shitting on the whitewashing of MLK. Why don't you bring up his message? Why don't you talk about his message? And I'm not talking about the bullshit conservatives like to talk about. It's not the color of your skin, but the content of your character. Why don't you actually bring up his message in the I Have a Dream speech? Why don't you actually bring up his message in the letters from Birmingham? No, you don't want to do that. You just want to use it as a cudgel to beat people that you think isn't sufficiently left of you. And that's what you're doing right now. Start talking about the message. That's what's important. But you're focusing on the man just like the conservatives do. To leave it as, he's good here, he's good here. Focus on the message. Maybe I'm wrong. This is a 30-minute video, and he will probably do that. Maybe I'm wrong.
That played a role in the assassination of this beloved, controversial at the time, but now beloved civil rights leader can just go ahead and say this hashtag MLK Day, the hashtag FBI honors one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement and reaffirms his commitment to Dr. King's legacy of fairness and equal justice for all. They do it every year. And guess what? It's shameless, but why would they care? There's no repercussions for it. Love that this year Israel has also gotten in on the fun themselves as they are currently committing an ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza. Israel has utilized Martin Luther King's legacy to whitewash their own ethnic cleansing campaign. Wonderful stuff. Okay, not a hint of irony there whatsoever. As always, many of the people that are liberals themselves who will turn around today and when they're done championing America's bombing of Yemen, or when they're done championing whatever kind of American imperialism that has to happen in a complex way, they will turn around and unironically showcase their favorite MLK quotes or whatnot.
Explain to me how the civil rights were different. Explain to me the civil rights that are different in Yemen and then or in the U.S. See, what he's relying on is to say, here's this icon, and let's talk about this icon, but never talk about what the fuck he actually says. And this is a shit that pisses me off. He relies on the ignorance and in some cases willful stupidity of his audience not to know what MLK said. But let's continue.
not, despite the fact that at the time, if they were adjusted to the civil rights movement, they 100% would be the same radical anti-communists that they are right now. Because remember, MLK was a democratic socialist. MLK also was an anti-imperialist as well. Now, on the issue of Israel, he had some different opinions, certainly. We can get into that if you want. I believe that when Amy Schumer was like posting that quote, a lot of people were
Get into it. Get into it. Stop. Get into it now. See, that's the problem. Again, and I was right. I called it. His thing is he wants to use the icon and not address what was said because he's been fucking poisoned his audience to think that if you don't think exactly like he does, then you're a pig, then you're conservative, then you're a MAGA. And this is stupid. There are people who have different opinions on you. And the test of not how right you are is how motherfucking left you can state out your points. Even if they're fucking wrong. But let's continue.
Actually very upset at her, including MLK's granddaughter. Anyway, it's disgusting. It's gross. It's done every year. We understand, all of us together, collectively understand when Republicans do it, but sometimes when liberals do it, we can't fully comprehend why it is indecent for liberals to do this in the exact same way. And today, we are going to look at some of the worst bastardizations of MLK's legacy by those who 100% would have been against them or are still kind of, against his movement in general, but will use some of his quotes to their advantage. On this MLK Day, remember the radical socialist, anti-imperialist MLK that liberals and conservatives erased from history.
I think the other thing that we must see at this time is that many of the people who supported us in Selma, in Birmingham, were really outraged about the extremist behavior toward them. But they were not at that moment, and they are not now, committed to genuine equality for. It's much easier to integrate a lunch counter than it is to guarantee an annual income, for instance, to get rid of poverty for Negroes and all poor people. It's much easier to integrate a bus than it is to make genuine integration a reality and quality education a reality in our schools. It's much easier to.
I'm pretty sure if they didn't cut it out, Hassan community would probably unironically try to cancel NLMLG for the term that they use for black people in the 60s, the 50s and 60s.
To integrate even a public park than it is to get rid of slums. And I think we are in a new era, a new phase of the struggle, where we have moved from a struggle for decency, which characterized our struggle for 10 or 12 years, to a struggle for genuine equality. And this is where we're getting the resistance, because there was never any intention to go this far. People were reacting to Bull Connor and to Jim Clark rather than acting in good faith for the realization of genuine equality.
Yep. It's important to recognize on this MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. The reason why I love posting this, and I do it every single year, is because there are a lot of liberals out there who behave in this exact same way and refuse to recognize it. And it's oftentimes in identical terms, too. Like, not just necessarily a white moderate when it comes to tackling some capitalist hyper-exploitation or whatever, but instead directly behaving like a white moderate when it comes down to any kind of emancipatory movement. So here.
So what Hassan fails to tell his audience is what the quote-unquote white moderate or liberal and what they said at the time were just centrists. They weren't these left of center people. They were just centrists. There are people who actually had something in their motherfucking who actually had, some funds or had some sort of wealth and didn't want to change shit. The problem is also there were black people like that too. It was more class issue versus just like all white people are bad, all white people are this. And I'm not saying there wasn't any racism. I would be stupid to say that. But the fact is, again, he's weaponizing his audience feeling bad because they're white to show that I'm one of the good ones instead of actually addressing issues as we need to. What was that video that dude just pulled back out and said that Hassan doesn't feel like he should do anything? Motherfucker Hassan knows that if it came down to a capitalist motherfucking revolution, his ass will be on a fucking chopping block with the extravagance that he has as well. But he knows it won't be one. He knows it won't be one, and he will never push for one. Because if he pushed for one, he will be fucked too. And yes, they will come up with some trumped up ass charges to motherfucking make sure that Hassan, you got a mansion, dog. Didn't you say people who own mansions, $3 million mansions are bad? Well, you got a $3.2 million mansion. Time to be bad. But let's go.
Here is Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. Here's a little bit of a background on the issue. He penned his letter from Birmingham City Jail. He and others were being held for violating a court order against parading, demonstrating, boycotting, trespassing, and picketing, according to the Denver Post article on it. The letter was written in response to a call for unity, a letter composed by 8 local white clergy members. Their letter called for an end to anti-segregation posts in Birmingham, Alabama, and to find proper channels to achieve a better Birmingham. Remember, the 8 local white clergy members said, "Hey, how about you don't protest? How about let's get together and let's find a better solution." I'm just going to give you the short and sweet of it and the most prescient, most important parts of it. Here's what he wrote. While confined in here in Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling my present activities unwise and untimely, he wrote to the fellow clergyman. I'm going to put this on streamer terms for you because I'm a goofy guy and I'm silly as hell. Martin.
Just don't. Just please don't. Fuck, please don't. Just okay.
Luther King Jr. responded to the trolls, which you're not supposed to, but hey, guess what? He posterized them pretty well.
He was an activist. He was trying to convince people in his side to come to his side. Of course, you're going to respond to people who disagree with you. He wasn't a coward like you are, Hassan. Let's continue.
So obviously, this is yet another work of his that has gone down in history that people oftentimes forget about and refuse to talk about, as a matter of fact. Or if liberals don't actually completely avoid this part of history and his sentiment here and what it actually means and why it's still prescient, sometimes they literally use it. Like Hillary Clinton. If I recall correctly, Hillary Rodham Clinton herself used the white moderate line in the past, which is insane to me. MLK Jr. said, "I had hoped that the white moderate would understand that law and order exists for the purpose of establishing justice, and that when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress." This is a subtweet. That's what Hillary Clinton said. In 1967, Ben Norton responds, Martin Luther King Jr. spoke out against the war in Vietnam, calling the U.S. government the greatest purveyor of violence in the world. Martin Luther King Jr. was 100% an America bad activist. If any...
No! You are a dumb fuck. You are so ignorant. You are so blinded by your need to seem like you right to your stupid ass fans. No! How dare you? You stupid son. How? How fucking dare you even sit back and try to tarnish this man's legacy by your stupid, unconceived, unbelievably simple way of thinking? How dare you? Martin Luther King was, sure enough, an America bad activist. You dumb fuck. Oh my God. How? Did he say America needs to do better? Yes. Did he say America has things that they should stop doing? Yes. Did he say this is our country that we're going to make better? Yes. But to simplify Martin Luther King's entire message to say America bad. Take your ass and read a fucking book, Hassan. How dare you simplify this shit so immaturely? How dare you? While you sit back here and you fucking feed into the whole idea of what these white centrists, these motherfucking white liberals, these motherfucking whole white moderates. Your chat is full of kids and young adults that don't want to do shit because it's going to be inconvenience for them. It's going to be uncomfortable for them. They may have to go outside and talk to somebody outside of a comment section. While you got people that are willing to go out there and fucking vote. You got people that are willing to go out there and help people. But your thing is America bad. So everything around it must be bad. Never mind doing anything. Oh, he's donated to this. When has he actually went out there and tried to get out the vote? And hell, even before the general elections, for primaries. No, he's a child that sits in his room like any other NEET, like any other hickey-McGurry that complains about how he wants the world to be, but does absolutely nothing but try to change the world. You're talking about somebody who actually gave his life to go walk and march with people who was beaten and put in jail in order to make changes. And you sit back on a fucking Twitch stream and watch videos, and half the time don't watch videos. You got so fucking touchy about people saying that you get up in the middle of videos that you have your editors put a fake version of you while a video is playing. But Martin Luther King was talking about America bad. It's like y'all on the same wavelength. Wow. Fuck this guy. Just fuck this guy. Fuck this guy in particular. I just can't. I'm sorry, guys. I can't watch this video anymore. I fucking can't. Get this asshole off my screen. Wow. I just can't. If you're an Hassan fan and you think he's spitting political truth, go the fuck outside. Just go outside. Just go outside. Go outside. Go the fuck outside. I don't know what to tell you. Just go outside. Because the fact that you're outside talking to people is more fucking work and more benefit than what he does. I literally, and I'm gonna keep this in the video. I literally was calling for a quote for moving, like getting a treadmill from my sister's house to my house, and I literally was talking to the guy, and he was talking about how he's in the financial trade business that he's trying to, and we was literally talking. And he was saying some points that I had agreed with, that I disagreed with. I was saying some points. And this is just after getting a moving quote. But fuckers like Hassan would never prep his audience to have a conversation like that All they would prep his audiences for is fucking condemnation and say, oh, you stupid, you this, you that, America bad. Hang up the phone. This is the biggest political streamer of the fucking time right now. We're in bad fucking shape. No wonder why the left can't win. When you have pieces of shit like that. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut this segment here. This is just dumb. This is fucking dumb. Guys, like, share, and subscribe. And I want you Hassan fans to comment me in my comment section and defend this shit. I want it because here's the thing. I'm not scared of the smoke. I'm not scared of the smoke. I will let you motherfuckers have it. If you not notice, I will let you motherfuckers have it. Martin Luther King was the same as an American bad activist. Fuck out of here, dude. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, that just that just ruined the fuck out of the last part of the show. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Now I'm fucking losing my voice. Thank you guys for watching. I mean, as always, I like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. And yeah. I'm about to go fucking scream into a fucking pillow. Good night, people.